Yesterday we talked about completing the square. We started completing the square, yes? We did parabolas. Here's the two examples that we did yesterday for parabolas. We have the variable that's by itself on one side, everything else on the other side. Yes? Okay? Once it was in working form, then I can tell my vertex and my direction. Okay? Today we need to go on to another kind of shape. Oh, did we also do the back in here? We also did the back, right? So you can tell by looking like what shape it is, right? So tell me by looking what shape this equation is. Does it have two squared terms? Then it's not a parabola. Are the two squared terms the same signs or opposite signs? They're the same signs, so it's not a hyperbola. How do you know this is a circle and not an ellipse? Because A and B are the same. Okay? Everybody okay with that? Plus it says, just for the record. But I was trying to get you to figure it out your own self. Okay? So, when we do, I'm going to do some circles for you today. I'm also going to do an ellipse and a hyperbola. All of these have the same beginning, the rules. Okay? You start all of these the same way. They are slightly different than a parabola. Okay? But you start all these the same way. You start them all by combining your like terms. Okay? So I'm just going to rewrite it, but I'm going to rewrite it so that my like terms are next to each other. I'm also going to get rid of my constant. Okay? I can't just like cross it out. How can I get rid of it? Add 51 to both sides. Very good. Excuse me. Okay with that? Now, why did I leave spaces? Because I don't know how to write? Okay, thank you. Why else do you think I left spaces? I have to complete the square, right? So what goes right here? Divide this term by 2 and square it. Plus 4. But here's the deal, guys. If I add 4 on this side, I have to add 4 on this side. Remember with parabolas, we were working all with the same side of the equal sign, so I added 25 and subtracted 25. Do you remember that? With circles, ellipses, and hyperbolas, I'm working with two different sides of the equal sign. So if I add 4 here, I've got to add 4 here, don't I? Yes? Okay, so what goes in this space then? Divide this by 2 and square it. Good. Plus 9. If I add 9 here, add it over here as well, right? Now, after we did the completing the square with the parabola, what did I do next? I found my binomial. Do you remember finding the binomial? That's what I need to do next here for this circle. What's my binomial for this trinomial? X minus 2 squared. Yes? So what's the binomial for this one? Y minus 3 squared equals 64. What does a circle have to equal? X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals what? R squared, right? R squared? Is this enough to finish this information down here? Okay, then what's the center? 2, 3. What's my radius? Done. Excuse me. Radius is 8. Got it? What about number 5 then? What should I do first? Combine your like terms. So I want to write x squared, and then I want to write 8x. I want to leave a space. I want to y squared minus 2y, and then I want to move my constant to the other side. In this case, adding 19 to both sides, right? So what goes in this first blank? First space. How did you get that? 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 4 squared is? And if I add 16 here, add 16 over here. Because we're talking about the other side of the equal sign. When we're balancing equations, we add something to the same, or we add things to the opposite sides, or we subtract the same thing from opposite sides, correct? Okay, what goes in this space? 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1, squared is 1. So then I also need to add 1 on that side. What's next after I complete the square? Binomials, right? Binomials. So what's this binomial? Good. X plus 4 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 36. Done? Yeah. What's the radius? 6. And what's the center? -4, 1. Good. Questions? How are you feeling on circles? Like you do 8 more? Oh, how about if we just do 1 more? Is that okay? You want to do 6 or 7? 6, okay? So what do we do first? Combine your like terms and get rid of your constant, right? This time I got to subtract 39.25 from both sides, right? Now what? I just need to go, don't you? You guys are already gone, aren't you? So plus 6.25 plus 6.25 and 49 plus 49 plus 49. So my binomials, x plus 2.5 squared plus y minus 7 squared equals 16. Where is my center? -2.5, comma 7. And what's my radius? 4. Now, I think you picked this one because it was harder and you wanted me to do the hard one, right? Was this harder? Then why'd you pick it? Because it has a decimal. Okay, so now you've seen one done with decimals. You okay? Do you want me to go ahead and do 7 or no? Sure? Okay. X squared plus 2x plus y squared plus 10y equals -15. So I have to add 1 here and add 1 here. And I have to add 25 here and add 25 here. So that gives me a binomial that's x plus 1 squared and another binomial that's y plus 5 squared equals 11. So where's my center? -1, 5. -5 or +5? Oh, -5. Oops. What's my radius? Where's my radius? How'd you get that? Okay. Square root of 11. Isn't that enough? Isn't that okay? If it asks us for the radius, we just take the square root of that number. If we have to graph it, is that enough? No. Then we got to go to the 3 point whatever you said. Right? Okay. Number 8. What shape is number 8? Okay, so let's think through this. Are there 2 square terms? Then it's not a parabola. Good. Are both of the squared terms the same sign, or are they different signs? They're the same sign, so it's not a hyperbola. So we have to decide either between a circle or an ellipse. How do I decide between a circle or an ellipse? Yep. That's a 1. That's a 49. So the numbers are different. And so it's an ellipse. What's my first step with an ellipse? Put your like terms together, right? The same steps as we started with on a circle. So I have x squared minus 6x plus 49y squared plus 196y equals negative 156. Okay, so far? Now what? So plus 9, plus 9. Oh no. Oh no. Can we complete this square? Why not? Is that a 1? Then I can't complete the square. So do we just like give up and go home? No, we do not. No, we do not. Watch what we have to do. Watch what we have to do. What did I do? I divided each of the y terms by 49. I didn't mess with the x terms. The x terms were good, right? I already left them alone. I already figured it out. I'm leaving them alone. I'm only dividing 49 out of each of the y terms. Okay? So complete the square for me then. What goes here? Plus 4. Are you ready for the trick question? How much did I really just add here? Yeah, it's not just 4, is it? It's 4 times 49. So when I add to the other side, I'm not adding 4, I'm adding 196. Because that's what 4 is times 49. Does that make sense? Yee. Okay, good. Binomial. X minus 3 squared plus 49. I have to keep that 49 there, don't I? What's my binomial? How about y? Y plus 2? Okay, y plus 2 equals? How about 49? Guys, what's 196 minus 156? 40 plus 9. 49. Okay? Now, what shape is this again? An ellipse. And in a working form of an ellipse, has to equal 1. Has to equal 1. How do I make this equal 1? Divide it all by that number. Very good. Just like that, right? Excuse me. So what I end up with then is x minus 3 squared over 49 plus, look. Don't those simplify? Aren't they both factors? Okay. So I just have y plus 2 squared equals 1. But don't I have to have fractions to be able to find a and b? Do I really have to have... Oh, yeah, isn't it? Isn't it over 1? Can I write it if I want to? But do I have to? No. Okay? So, tell me again what type of conic this is. Ellipse. Where is my center? 3, negative 2. What is my A? 7. And what is my B? 1. Done. We good? So let's do number 9. What do I do first? Separate like terms. 9x squared plus 90x minus 4y squared plus 8y equals negative 185. What do I do first? You don't have to. You don't have to know what 45 squared is. Can I complete the square the way it is right now? What does this have to equal? 1. So I have to divide each of my x's, only the x's, by 9. So I get x squared plus 10x. Tell me what's right here? Plus 25. How much did I really add, though? I added 25 times 9. Okay, maybe you can't do that in your head. Tell me this question then, or answer this question for me. How much money do you have if you have 9 quarters? Wait, that was way faster, isn't it? Isn't that 225? You just told me you couldn't do 25 times 9 in your head. Liars. You make it money, you can do it, can't you? Okay. So now what? What happens with the y's? Divide everything by negative 4. Be super careful. If I divide by everything by negative 4, what do I have left? Y squared minus 2y, right? Minus 2y? Because I divided the 8 by a negative 4. Yes, plus 1. How much did I really add, though? Negative 4, didn't I? Because it's negative 4 times 1, so it's a negative 4. Now what? Binomials. 9 times x plus 5 squared minus 4 times almost y minus 1 equals what? $36. Oh, good job. You guys are so great at this. Reading. What shape is this again? This is an ellipse? Do we talk about what shape this was? Okay, let's talk about it. How do you know it's a hyperbola? The signs are different. 2 squared terms that the signs are different on. It's a hyperbola. On the working form of a hyperbola, what does it have to equal? The working form of a hyperbola has to equal how about 1? Divide everything by 36. What all has to equal 1? That's a good question. Somebody tell me. Ellipse and hyperbolas. Yep. Okay, now watch what happens here, though. What should we do here? Can I just cancel these out? Why not? They're not the same. Can I simplify them? Well, I heard a yes and a no. One of those answers is right. Yes. Okay. So if this is a 1 and this would be a 4. So I end up with x plus 5 squared over 4. Right? Then I have minus. What can I do with the 4 and the 36? Simplify. So I end up with y what is that? That's not even a y. That's like a wy. Sorry. Y minus 1 squared over 9 equals 1. Where is my center? Negative 5, 1. What is my a value? 2. And what is my b value? 3. Okay? So now yesterday I did some parabolas for you. Today I've done circles, ellipses, and hyperbolas. So between now and the end of the period, you have the rest of the time to work on your homework. E. Guys, please understand there are directions. I would like you to read them. And this down here tells you what you need for each one of these shapes. Okay? Any questions? Kingston out.